What is going on, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global here, back with another video. And yesterday, news dropped that Patriots cornerback J.C. Jackson had finally signed his tender. The tender that the Patriots placed on him during their big free agency spending spree, which was about a month ago. They placed a second-round tender on J.C. Jackson on March 18th. So just about a month ago. It took him almost a month, very close, just a day or two off, to sign that tender that the Patriots placed on him, which I do believe is at least somewhat telling. And many of us were shocked when the Patriots decided to place a second-round tender on him rather than a first. And because they placed a second-round tender on him, he is making less money than he would have if the Patriots had signed him to a first-round tender. And again, a lot of us, including myself, were surprised that they didn't place that first round on him, but maybe they felt, hey, J.C. Jackson likely isn't going to, get dealt for a second-round pick. They just don't necessarily think teams are going to give a second-round pick for J.C. Jackson, or they think, hey, this is what we think you're worth. We think that you're worth a second-round pick, and hey, if someone offers that, then, depending on what the contract is, we may match it, we may not, but it would be worth a second-round pick in return. But we did get some news that kind of cleared up, why it took J.C. Jackson almost an entire month to sign the tender that the Patriots placed on him. So per a source with knowledge of the situation, by the way, this is coming from Pro Football Talk, J.C. Jackson's camp actually contacted every single NFL team. So 31 other teams in the league in an effort to get an offer sheet. No one would do it. None of the 31 other NFL teams were looking to sign that offer sheet, which is why he re-signed with the Patriots. But J.C. Jackson and his camp reached out to every single other NFL team in order to get somebody else to try to sign that offer sheet. And there's a couple of things that come in mind on potentially why that happened. Now, obviously, the reason J.C. Jackson took so long to sign that tender was for this exact reason, because they were trying to wait it out as long as they could and get another NFL team to finally, make another offer. Maybe that's because, J.C. Jackson simply doesn't want to play for the Patriots anymore, which I wouldn't see why. Nothing has come out about bad blood or an issue between J.C. Jackson and the Patriots. The only thing I could possibly think of is maybe the Patriots only view him as a CB2 when he views himself as a CB1. But maybe this also came down to money. On the tender, he's only signed to a 1-year contract worth about $4 million. Maybe in J.C. Jackson's mind, because he led the league, or was second in the league rather, behind Xavier Howard from the Dolphins in interceptions in 2020. Maybe he's saying $4 million for how I played this past year. That's ridiculous. Get another team to sign me, give me more money, give me a longer contract, and maybe that's just not what happened. But nonetheless, clearly his heart and soul wasn't returning to the Patriots, and he was open to playing literally anywhere else. And what that just tells me about J.C. Jackson is that I don't believe he hates the Patriots, and I believe if the Patriots gave him a contract that he liked, he would stay. But I believe when it comes down to J.C. Jackson, a year from now, when he will be an unrestricted free agent and will hit the open market, I believe that someone's just going to pay him more money than the Patriots are going to, and he's going to chase the contract. He's not going to stay with the Patriots because he likes the team, or, even if they become contenders or whatnot, he's going to go where he gets the most money, and he's going to chase the bag. That's just the vibes I'm getting from J.C. Jackson. It, of course, also is worth noting that, just about a month ago now, we were hearing that the Tennessee Titans did have interest in potentially making the trade for J.C. Jackson. Because the Patriots signed him to the tender, for those who don't know how that works, it means the Patriots have all the rights to J.C. Jackson. Another team can offer a contract to J.C. Jackson, but the Patriots can match that contract if they would like to. If they decide not to match the contract, then that team would get J.C. Jackson, but because they placed a second-round tender on him, they would have to give up a second-round pick to the Patriots. And obviously, J.C. Jackson is still here, meaning that the Tennessee Titans just didn't think it was worth it. They didn't feel like giving up a second-round pick, and that was that. So now that J.C. Jackson has signed the tender, ultimately what that means for the Patriots is that they'll have him signed for one more year. I just don't see a long-term deal getting done. Again, I think he's going to chase a very, very big contract that somebody's going to offer him at the end of the year. But at this point, he is not allowed to talk to any other teams. Other teams cannot offer him a contract. He is signed with the Patriots for this year, so what the Patriots could do is actually trade him, and what I'm hearing is that that is a very good possibility. Don't put it out of the realm of possibilities at all. But I even think that, J.C. Jackson's future with the Patriots is an even bigger question mark because the Patriots haven't traded Stephon Gilmore. They've gotten, multiple offers for Stephon Gilmore. A lot of teams were calling the Patriots, not the other way around. The Patriots weren't calling other teams. Other teams were calling the Patriots about Stephon Gilmore, and they still haven't jumped on it, which tells me they are not certain on the future of J.C. Jackson. Obviously, the Patriots are not going to go into the 2021 season after all the moves that they made this offseason, all the money they spent to lose their two top starting cornerbacks, especially when you don't have a backup for them. So because the Patriots are so hesitant still to let go of Stephon Gilmore and potentially trade him, also kind of tells me that could tie into J.C. Jackson and them just not being sure on what the future holds and if he'll even be on the team in 2021. Jackson is still very, very young at 25 years old. By the start of the next season, he's going to be 26, so he's still very, very young, and he played 84% of New England's defensive snaps this past season, and with Stephon Gilmore going out towards the end of the season with an injury, being out the rest of the season, he got thrusted into the starting role and did not look good as a number one overall corner. He showed some flashes, but definitely inconsistencies, and showed that he, at least as of right now, is not a number one corner. A very good number two guy, but definitely not a number one, at least for right now. Now, obviously, if the Patriots do end up losing J.C. Jackson, that is just a tremendous, tremendous loss to the team. Obviously, losing your cornerback too, but also, losing a guy who was a constant turnover for you. I mean, we're talking about giving more opportunities to the offense, and J.C. Jackson is the reason that our offense had so many opportunities in 2020. I just don't think we have a ball hawk as good as J.C. Jackson is. But nonetheless, we do know Bill Belichick, and we do know that he is not going to give J.C. Jackson the contract that I guarantee you J.C. Jackson is looking for. I guarantee you J.C. Jackson is looking to be a number one corner and get number one cornerback money in this league. And I can just promise you Belichick, at least as of right now, just doesn't see J.C. Jackson as that number one guy. And I think because they're on different pages, it's going to lead to J.C. Jackson leaving the Patriots, whether that's this year or at the end of the season. He's not going to be a longtime Patriot. I just don't see it happening. Now, before we do end this video, I do want to talk about the sponsors of this video, betonline.ag. Now, BetOnline has the fastest and the easiest ways to bet on all of your sports action. As we all know, football is over, but NBA, college basketball, and the NHL are still a full swing. BetOnline even covers awards, TV shows, along with reality TV and real-time updated odds and props on almost anything you can imagine. BetOnline also has you covered for all of the news, scores, and odds, and it is the best way to place your bets, and it's completely free to sign up. All you guys got to do is head to their website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't sit on the sidelines anymore, my friends. Get in with the action, and don't forget to use that promo code CLNS50 to receive a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. Again, that is BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. But that is a little update on J.C. Jackson. I know some of you were asking for one, and we did finally get one. Are you surprised that him and his camp were contacting every NFL team to try to get another offer sheet other than what the Patriots gave them? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Like always, I appreciate each and every single one of you for watching this and supporting the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.